Hey guys, welcome back. What we're going to tackle now is the seating arrangements. Since the Subaru donor is is a kind of a waste product, once we're done with it, it goes to the crusher. They basically recycle as much as they can. We may as well try to use as much as possible. So not saying that the Subaru seats are the best fit for the bus or for Vanagons or anything, but they do fit and they're quite comfortable. So let's take a look and see what we can do to make them fit. Here's the seats that came in the 1977 bus that I'm working on now. You can see it's not very comfortable. All the cushioning, all the horsehair, coconut fiber stuff is kind of worn out. I mean, we've got some pretty gnarly tears in here, and it's just empty basically. So it's not very comfortable when we tip it over. You'll see that it's pretty gnarly in there. I mean, this stuff is just like flaking off. This seat is pretty worn out. So what I'm proposing is using a seat from the Subaru Legacy that we pulled out. So one of the benefits is, here, let me flip it over for you. The padding is actually kind of this foam material. Looks like closed cell foam, and it's in fantastic shape. All the bearings for the sliders are still in great shape. It needs a little cleanup, but other than that, it's great. A lot of the benefit is comfort, but we've also got, we're able to move the seat forward and back. On the driver's side, we have a bolster adjustment, or lumbar support actually, so you can adjust that. This is a passenger seat, so it doesn't have that. But we'll need to take off some of the stuff we won't need, like this seatbelt bracket. It had automatic seatbelts, so it won't actually work with our VW. But what we'll do is take a look at how to, check it out, 5 cents. What we're gonna do is take a look at how to adjust these brackets so that we can fit it into the van. Put the seat up on a little temporary workbench here, and just going to take off all the extraneous stuff that we don't really need. Going to take this seatbelt off. Actually going to modify this bracket as well as the one in the back there, and then the front ones as well. Those will probably be modified. They do have a bend in them that sits kind of almost perfectly with the bends in the bus, but I'll show you what I do here in just a moment. Alright, so using an angle grinder, I grinded off this bracket here. If we come over to the seat, we can see where that came off. And it kind of sat like this, and what I've done is I've actually bent this side up so it's a little more in line, a little straighter with the rail, as you can see, because usually it kind of bends downward at an angle. So straighten that out, and on the rear, on the right side of the seat, I actually cut some of the bracketry and kind of leveled it out, so it's lined up a little straighter with the rail as well. So what that's going to do is allow the back end to sit pretty flush. Now on the front side, I haven't done anything. These are going to remain just like how they are. So let's go ahead and do a test fit. So we have the seat in, and it's basically just sitting in here. I haven't drilled the holes and put the seat in yet, but we can see that the brackets actually sit pretty close to where kind of the bend is naturally. So if we come to this back bracket here, this is the one that was bent. You'll see that, you know, it sits pretty nicely. If we zoom back here, you can maybe get a better idea. Okay, let's take a look at the left rear side. So it's just gonna sit right here, very near the seat belt. So the seat belt will kind of sit like right there. But overall, a pretty good, decent fit. It is slightly taller than the VW seat, so for really tall folks, it may not be the best answer. But you know, I like the adjustability of these seats, and you know, the look isn't too bad for the bus either, especially if you're not going for restoration. So next up, I'm just going to drill the holes and get it mounted. So the holes are drilled. Basically these outside holes, you probably can't see it from underneath here, right there and right there. We're just going to use these bolts that I harvested from our donor Subaru. I try to keep a lot of bolts and nuts and whatnot from the Subarus just because they're handy in situations like this. So we have the holes drilled. I'm going to go ahead and fasten it down and give it a whirl. Alright, we have the seat bolted in now. It's super secure. Now you can see we have a lot of functionality. First off, we can go pretty far forward here. We can come back and have a pretty nice seating adjustment. We can fold that all the way forward and bring it up to give us a little more storage. Let's see, we can go back all the way to have a pretty reasonable front seat sleep if we wanted, a little nap. And if we come forward, we have access to kind of some basic storage underneath. You could put like a strong box or something in there for traveling. But yeah, these seats work out pretty well. They're a little taller than the VW seats, so that's somewhat of a downside, but other than that, they're super comfortable. The bolsters hold you in pretty well around corners, and you know, they're great in my opinion. So thanks for following along on the Subaru seat adaptation into the bus. Next thing we're going to do is take a look at the door skins. So keep an eye out for that video.